Okay, so I am live. I am back live here in. Okay, so I am back. I Hello and welcome to this edition of Break the Frame. Okay, let me see something if it's going to work. If this one will be a better option. Okay, amazing. Okay, so hello everyone. Welcome to this edition of Break the Frame. I think now we have better lighting, right? This is a little more clearer than the previous lighting that I have, right? Great, amazing. So Fumbi, welcome. Robert Bliss, welcome. And everyone that is here in this live broadcast tonight. So quick one. The goal for this particular session is to share with you the 9 different phases of your personal money. So can you hear me? If you can hear me, I will appreciate if you can actually tell me in the comments that you can hear me. Imagine my device is moving away from its stand right now. My device is moving away from its stand right now. So if you can hear me, please let me know that you can hear me. Can you hear me? Say yes below if you can hear me. Please type yes if you can hear me. 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 So type yes if you can hear me. Okay, so I'm using this time to actually hold on and wait for a few members to pop in so that we can get started. So as I said, my name is Dayo Samuel. Let me check. Oh, great. So Robert Bliss said you can hear me loud and clear. So fantastic. Okay, so what I'm doing with the Break the Frame live sessions is to actually do a live recording of a podcast that will be released outside to people, that will be released worldwide, actually to all the places that the podcast is intended to go. But then I decided that instead of just doing any recording, why not always direct the content of Break the Frame podcast to always meet someone's need, to always meet both your need and someone's need. Like the name of the podcast, it is your unscripted coaching session, which means that for each episode of the Break the Frame podcast, I am going to always have someone who is going to be coached by me or sometimes by other coaches. So that's the idea of the Break the Frame podcast. And I decided to start the recording inside of this group so that we can follow along, so that we can be first beneficiaries of the entire Break the Frame show. So I intended to discuss money today, and more importantly to help you understand the 9 different phases of your personal money. And I'm going to take just about 10 minutes to have this conversation. This is okay. I've seen the time right now, so I'm going to just take 10 minutes, and then I'm going to have Oluwafumbi Purpose Adeoti join me live. That is, I'm going to bring her on live, and I'm going to watch us have a mini speed coaching session, so that because when she was filling in her own application, she mentioned the money as one of the things she wants to be coached on. So I'm going to have her on the show, and we're going to deal with the topic of money. So let's talk about money. What is money to you? I want you to, in the comments, answer the question, what does money mean to me? Now, money actually means a lot of things to a lot of people, but what we'll find is that while we may be having conversations, while we may use money to do anything we want to do, there is always a top line story and there's always an underlying story. So there is, like I said in the post I wrote earlier on, I said money is both mathematics and meaning. That is, money is both the numbers, the digits, the currency, the figures, and it is also meaning. So if you place them side by side, 20,000 naira is not only 20,000 naira. 20,000 naira is a math, is a figure, it is also a meaning. 1 million naira or $1 million is a figure, it's a mathematics to someone, it is also a meaning to the same person. So what I want to do with this live session today is to actually break down the different meanings we have, and there are 1,001 different meanings that we have. But I want to bring out the 9 core meanings, that we actually have of money. That is, for example, let me even tell you a story. So it happened that after I got married, I discovered that I had a different money persona. My wife has a different money persona. There has always been a way she handles money. There's always been a way I handle money. And I discovered that the way the two of us handle money, we are completely different from each other. Now, when we decided to merge our work together and turn it into Audacity to Lead as a full-blown organization, what I discovered was that the way she used to run money and the way I used to run money were actually parallel. In fact, they are actually in tandem to the other. They are actually in different directions. So, for example, some of you may find yourself in some of the things I'm going to be describing here right now. So, for example, I am the type that likes to make money, and after I make that money, I like to keep it locked in an account, pending the time that I want to go and do something with it. That is, if I don't have a plan, I don't touch the money. My business partner, who is my wife, likes to actually earn money. When she earns the money, not really through business. She does business once in a while, but she earns money through other things. And for her, the money can just be like that. Whatever needs to be done at the instance that the money comes in is what the money will go and take care of. So I discovered that while me, I like to plan the money, I like to create goals, I like to create plans for any personal income, for any personal money, I discovered that she was kind of opposite of myself. And usually when money problems come up in marriages, this tends to be what usually happens. The husband has a different money narrative, the wife has a different money narrative, the husband has a different money pattern, the wife has a different money pattern. And so that begins to create clash and conflict in between the two of them, because they are not able to bring their differences, their money personalities, their money differences, the faces of money that they have been projecting around. They are not able to bring it together. Thank God that I was able to quickly identify this, and so by that, we decided, okay, one person is going to be in charge of money, and when the person is in charge of money, the other person has to follow this other person's instruction. This person has to follow this other person's instruction. Now, it doesn't have to work like that for your own family, okay? Now, let's bring it back to the context of your own personal money. Let's even say that you are not married. You are just on your own. You don't have anybody that you work with. It is just you. What are some of the faces of money that we project? First off is the face of the proclamation of freedom. To many of us, money is a proclamation of freedom. That is, whenever we have money, we have this feeling, we create this meaning that money, at this point, I cannot declare that I am free. I am free. So you find that with some people, that is the face of the money that they project. So when they don't have money, you find them depressed, you find them anxious, you find them going through a lot of challenges. Not a lot of challenges, so to say. You find them depressed, moody, and anxious. You find them behaving in a certain manner simply because there is no money. Now, that is the face that they project. That is the proclamation of freedom. Second is the currency of caring. And that's number 2, currency of caring. Now, for currency of caring, for this person whose money face or whose face of money is the currency of caring, you find that this person feels bad when he doesn't have money, especially when issues pop up or somebody has maybe health issues, somebody has certain challenges, and this person is not able to meet that need. This person begins to feel bad. This person begins to feel like, oh, I wish I had money to actually help this person. Now, for this person, they believe their face of money is that money is a currency of care. So the way for them to actually show the other person that they care is where they have to do anything that has to do with money. Number 3, this is the symbol of success. Number 3 face of money is a symbol of success. And what I mean by that is that for someone, their money face, the kind of money, the way they project money is that when they have money, it is a symbol of success. So that is, they rate all their success, all their progress in life, or their personal success and their personal progress in life by how much money they have, by how much money they have either in their bank account or as physical cash. Now, this person, you find that this person, when the person is talking about the kind of things he or she has achieved, money will always come up. I have made 5 million naira this January. I have made 1 million naira this January. That person seems to talk that way because their own face of money is that money is a symbol of success. The more money I have, the more successful I am. So that's an other face of money that this person projects. Now, that's number 1, that's number 2, that's number 3. Number 4 will be that money is a promissory note for happiness. So this person sees money as a promissory note for happiness. And what's a promissory note? A promissory note is basically a physical paper or a physical legal tender that you use in exchange for something. So this person sees money as a promissory note for happiness, in that if this person has money, then they are happy. If they don't have money, then they are not happy. In fact, if I ask you right now that how much money do you make right now? And if you want to, you can pick a paper and write how much money you make right now. So for someone, it may be that you make, it could be from your job, it could be from your salary, it could be from the business, it could be from an investment you run. So for this person, the money you make per month, or let's say the money that you make per month is maybe 50,000 naira. For another person, it will be 100,000 naira. For another person, it will be 500,000 naira. For another person, it may be 800,000 naira that you make monthly. Now, once you note down that number, I want you to answer this question. How much do you think you will make for you to be completely happy? Do you get that? First thing is, write down what is the amount that you make right now. And then, number 2, how much do you think you should be making that will make you feel completely happy with yourself? Now, what experiments have found is that usually when people know how much they make like that, for them to feel completely happy, they say they want to make twice or 3 times of such money. What you actually will find out if you pay attention is when this person makes twice and 3 times of that current money, you'll find that that person is still not happy. Why? Because the person's face of money, the person's maths and meaning of money goes beyond the physical, the number that they actually make per month or per year. It goes beyond that to actually go into their own promissory notes of happiness. So, some people, their face of money is a promissory note for happiness. So, number 4, that should be number 4, right? Yes, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, number 4. Number 5 is the embodiment of power, or let's say a measure of power. For some people, their face of money is the measure of power. That is, money is power to them. That is, for them to feel powerful, they have to have certain amounts of money. I hope you're getting me. So for some people, their own definition, their own rating of money, or their own meaning of money is the embodiment of power. That is, the more money they have, the more powerful they feel. That's number 6. Number 7 is the proof of self-worth. And this is actually where it comes down to some of us right now, particularly you that you are watching me right now, listening to me right now. You will find that for you to feel good about yourself financially, for you to actually feel good about yourself, sometimes there's some financial attachment to it. That is, if you make certain amounts of money, you feel like, I'm confident in myself. I like myself for the fact that I can make this amount of money. Now, the interesting thing is that if you take away that money and replace it with a different element, you may not feel that sense of self-worth. So for some people, the money is a proof of self-worth. Their own face of money is a proof of self-worth. Number 8 now will be your license for opportunity. Let me call it your license for opportunity. And here's what I mean by that. To a lot of people, money actually provides opportunities for them. That is, when they have money, at that point they know that, okay, I have the opportunity to actually do anything that matters to me. So if they don't have the money, they don't feel like they actually have opportunities being presented to them. That's what I mean by license for opportunity. So with the money they have, they feel, now I can take on any opportunity that presents itself. But without money, they feel bound. They feel like, there's no way for me to actually take up opportunities. And I can understand you may be like any of the 8 things I've actually mentioned. And number 9, which is where I'm going to stop for today, money to some people is an instrument of control. Now, you may think power and control are the same thing, but no. Power is let's say power is the force, while control is authority. For some people, money is that instrument of control. When they have money, they know that I can control things, I can control others, I can influence others. So I want you to run through every single thing I've mentioned here today. And I want you to ask yourself, is money a proclamation of freedom for me? Is money a currency of caring? Do I have to have money to know that I can care for others? Do I see money as a symbol of success? Do you see money as a promissory note for happiness? Do you actually see money as an embodiment, a measure of power? That is how powerful you are. Or you see money as an evidence of security, or maybe you see money as a proof of self-worth, or maybe you see money as a license for opportunity or an instrument of control. Whichever of these that you find yourself, what you will need to do is pick out the ones that you feel describes you, and then look at it and say, okay, this is me. And what I just want you to do is just to accept the fact that this is how you have been playing out. Now, if you remember the story I shared earlier on, after I began to understand how I process money mentally, psychologically, that is the meaning I have attached to money, and the meaning my wife attached to money, the maths began to have lesser power. And how do I mean by lesser power? I mean, if only certain amount of money is available, because of my awareness, the meaning is now changed such that if this is the amount that is available, I know that this amount doesn't determine my self-worth. This amount doesn't determine the power I have. This amount doesn't determine the control I can influence or exercise. This money doesn't determine my happiness. This certain money doesn't determine my freedom. And that's what I need you to do today. So as you listen to this episode of Break the Frame, what I want you to take note of is that while you have a money meaning, you need to also differentiate the money maths. So the maths is basically the figures, like I explained. The meaning is the deeper story, the deeper narrative that you tell yourself about money. And you know the funny thing, every single money you spend, every single transaction you make, every single investment you make, you are operating from one of these 9 different narratives. You are operating from one of these 9 different faces. So you need to become aware of this, and that's why I decided to make this particular episode of Break the Frame something that will be meaningful to you. Now, at this point, I'm going to bring on the show Oluwafumbi Purpose. And Oluwafumbi Purpose says, I think money to me is a proclamation of freedom. Fantastic. Fantastic. The awareness is more important than the mathematics. The awareness is more important than the figure that we actually have. So that's why I decided to do this, so that we can first of all be aware, because awareness is power. Awareness leads to change. The more awareness you have, the more you can control how money influences you. Now, the different phases of money, the 9 different phases of money that I just shared now, you will find that every single day you play out certain parts of these phases. Every single day. Now, by the time I bring on Oluwafumbi, I'm going to be asking her certain questions, and you might even be seeing some of them play out in a day-to-day life. Now, let me bring on Fumbi as I change from this. Let me see. So I've just sent invitation for Fumbi to join me now. To do is I'm going to change the mic I'm using, so I'm going to switch to a different mic. So hold on. So great. So if Fumbi goes ahead now and accepts the invite, she will be able to join me live on the show. So let me place this back in its stand. I want to say thank you to everyone that has joined me so far. Bliss, thank you. Maiwa Nobanjo, thank you. Oluwafumbi, thank you as well. So for me, please accept the invitation to join me on the live broadcast so that we can have our mini coaching, speed coaching session for the next 10 minutes. Oh. Perhaps maybe Fumbi should go ahead and request to join me live here. So let me see.
TF Clean.
This set. So please go ahead and accept the invitation. Please go ahead and accept the invitation. Okay, great. So, hello. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I can hear you.
Good.
So can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Do you want to use an earpiece? If you have an earpiece that has a mouthpiece.
Not at the moment.
Okay, fantastic. So let me check. Okay, great. So you applied to be on the show because you want us to discuss some money. So from what you've learned from the tiny session that I did, what do you think money means to you?
Okay. Like I said earlier, I think going through the 9 phases of money, I think to me, money seems to be a proclamation of freedom. I actually went through the 9, and I think money does not define my self-worth. money is not my currency for care. And I think it's proclamation of freedom. I believe if I have money, I can do anything I really have in mind to do.
And when I asked to write down how much you currently make, did you write something down?
Yes.
And if I ask you that, how much would you like to make? If you give me a rough figure, how much would you like to make in the next, maybe next 3 months, next 6 months? How much did you write down?
Okay, say in the next 3 months, I'd love to make like say 200,000, 250,000 around that, like between 200 and 300,000 in 3 months.
Compared to what you make right now, that's how many multiples? Is it two times or just one time, or it's not even, compared to it at all?
In fact, that's like times 250. I don't know. Right now, I say I'm not really okay. I won't say I'm not making anything, but what I make at the moment is just a little.
Okay, fantastic. Now let's do something. And what I want you to
Okay.
do is this, because usually the face of money is actually learned unconsciously. We either learned it from our parents or from the people that groomed us, which we
Yeah.
typically call handlers. There are people who came into our lives at one point or the other, and these are the people who actually laid the foundations for how we work with money. So I want to ask you at this point that what did you see? How did you see your parents handle money?
Um. Well, I'll say that for a very long time, it wasn't open to me how they were handling money. It was just I, for a very long time, I don't even know how much they make or how much they spend. You just see that they are spending money. They have money and they are spending money. And when you need something and then you ask, Daddy or Mommy, I need this. Well, I don't have money now. And when they have, they give you. You understand? So I think for a very long time, what they were making and what they were spending was not really open to me until say when I had to work with my dad and I sort of was in charge of what he was making. So to a large extent, then I knew okay, this was what he was making and this was what he had to spend on his project and this was what he had to spend on himself. So if I have to look at that, I would say that my dad, well, sometimes he makes some bad financial decisions and which is quite open. I think I don't know how to qualify exactly how he handles money, but I think to a large extent he does it well. Saves
That's your mom,
money when
right?
he's supposed to,
Okay.
a
Now,
lot
if
of money.
you, from what you just said now, it means that you you probably saw a pattern of secrecy when it comes to money with your parents. That is, they're not
Yes,
completely
yes.
open with money. Now, if you actually check your own life, if you're in a relationship, so to say, or you are married, do you completely disclose all the money you spend, all the money you make to your partner right now?
I think to a large extent, consciously, yes, yes.
Great.
Unconsciously, sometimes I
So,
just forget. I don't even mention it, but consciously now, I have to, you know.
uh, amazing. Now, the interesting thing is this: when you, because the thing is, we usually learn money patterns from our parents or from the people who trained us or from the people who raised us. Because just as you said, sometimes we don't know where the money comes from, and so we just see that they are just spending money, and we're like, oh boy. So this money was available all this while. So I
Yeah.
can understand. I can understand that. Now let's do a little thing. Do you want to raise your kids with them not knowing how much you have, with that kind of secrecy around the
I,
money?
I think I don't want to. I would want them to know how much I make. Let them know how much I make so that that is going to control their demands too. They know how much
Um,
mommy is making, so they know we can't make demands more than what she has. for me, I think
Um,
I would want them to know how much I make
amazing.
rather.
Now, amazing. Now, I like that actually, and that's going to lead me to ask you the question of what you said money means to you. That is the face of money that you use or that you project. Now, you said money to you is proclamation of freedom. Now, has there been any time you did not have money and you felt like you were bound and like you couldn't do the things that really mattered to you?
Yes,
And has
yes,
there been time that you had the money and you felt like I can just do anything I want right now?
yes.
Comparing the two
Like
of
I
them,
want.
which of them have you had more experiences of?
Um, Let me say that I've had cases of when I have money in my hand, I'm like, okay, now I have a plan, then I can do what I intended to do. So I
Do you
think I've
usually
had more
plan
cases of
of what?
I've had more cases of me having the money and then feeling or thinking, yes, I could do what I want with my own money.
Amazing, amazing. And now let's take it a little further. Do you usually plan the money that comes in, or money just comes in suddenly and you just feel like, or if you, or let me frame it this way: when money comes in, let's say you are giving money, somebody dashes you money. How do you usually, what do you usually do with that money?
Okay. When someone dashes me money or I make some money, most times I've before the money comes in, I've had something in mind that I probably want to get or do, or maybe I have a loan to pay back or something. So when the money comes in, the first thing that comes to my mind is, okay, what do I need to do at the moment? So most times it is that money must meet a need that has been pre-planned.
And what if it's a salary? If it's money that came in from salary?
Okay. For salaries, okay. Actually, I think this is one of the things I just learned. For salaries, what I usually do is because I was running a business, I'll just take like say 30% out of the money. That's what I'm going to spend, and then put back the 70% into my business. That was what I was doing until recently.
So what stopped that recently? What changed?
Many things. I think
Like
I had too many other responsibilities.
responsibilities, like you have plenty family, like see my family.
Well, family is one of it. Personal responsibilities too. I had courses to take. I had some other few things I needed money for, and they were quite urgent. And business was not growing like I would want it to.
So here is something I'm hearing from you. If you had the opportunity to create a plan to actually make more money, then you reinforce that proclamation of freedom the more. Could I be right?
Yeah. Yes.
So, would you want to sit down and come up with a plan? Usually, what I do is I could come up with seven different options that I can explore to make money. So, for example, I sit down and I say, okay, what are some of the things I know? What are some of the things I do? And what are some of the things I have that I can actually trade to make money? So, let me use a classic example, actually, something from my past that has actually worked for me. So, I sit down and say, okay, I want to make so and so amount of money. And then I sit down and say, okay, option one, get a job. Option two, create a book and ensure I sell so number of the book per day. Number three,
Okay.
launch a course where I can teach people certain things. Number four, create a certain product. Number five, join network marketing. I've actually had it as an option before and I actually explored it. Number six, I usually create seven different options like that. Now, when I take people through this, because of time, I may not be able to say that you should. But I want you to right now come up with minimum of 3 things that you can actually do to create income for you, such that the income will make you feel good about yourself, such that you feel like, okay, I have this freedom. By that, I mean, come up with options of what you can do right now, or let's say moving forward from here, that can actually enhance this proclamation of freedom. That is, number one, does a job give you freedom, for example? If a job gives you freedom, then add it to it. If a job does not give you freedom, so that means that a job may not be an option. Do you get that?
Okay. Yes.
So, for example, if I say my own proclamation of freedom, for example, a job, you may say a job will bring you 58,000 naira. And that means that over the next 3 months, as you mentioned, it means that 50, 50, 50, you will have about 150, right? So if you create a product, it means that you have to sell certain numbers of the product to hit that 200,000 that you mentioned. If you say you want to do a course, that is, you want to do a training program for people, it means that you have to sell certain numbers of that over the next 3 months to make that 200. So come up with a minimum of 3 options right now and let me hear them. Can you do that?
Yes, I'm on it.
Amazing.
The first thing would actually be to get a job,
Okay.
and second thing to push sales for my recently launched book.
Okay.
Then the third thing would be to should I use the word relaunch or to okay, I did it last year. I I coached like I think about 5 people or trained about 5 people in catfish farming. So that could be an option too.
Okay. Amazing.
Training.
And okay, good. So that's catfish training, right?
Yes.
Great. So now these are just 3 options. Now, if I ask you which of them has the more potential to bring you the 200,000 naira within the next 3 months faster, which of these 3 will you mention?
Um, Getting a job should then the training. Those
Okay.
two. Yes.
So that's the top one right now is getting a job. The second one is the
Yes.
training, right?
The
So
training.
out
Yes.
of these 2, now we are just working with the 3 options you created. Usually, I recommend you create 7 options, a minimum of 5
Okay.
actually. So
Okay.
after this call, what you will need to do will be to create other options so that you can explore other options. The essence is the person with the most flexibility controls the system. The person with the most
Yes.
options control the game. So the more options you have, the better you are able to control the game. So what you will do then will be that of getting a job and of relaunching your training, which of them can you do right now? Which of them can you explore right now?
Um, Getting a job is not in my control. I have to put in applications and wait to be called for interview. So that may take a longer time. Then the training, I'll have to put out adverts. I'll have to put out adverts or say adverts for people to be interested in the training. So I think
Fantastic.
the
So
training has higher um, opportunity. I have a higher opportunity there for it to happen now.
So, so do you want to explore that within the next 3 months and see if you will hit your goal or not?
Yes, yes, I want to.
Amazing. So when are you going to do that?
Start immediately.
Fantastic. So that means that
That's
you will possibly put together a flyer and then with
yeah.
now the interesting thing is that you will have to actually price it in a way that helps you to get to your goal. I usually teach
Yes.
that the your goal should determine your prices, not what the market says.
Mm,
So if you price it, let's say you price it at 5,000 naira, it means that you have to sell how many spots to hit the 200. So if you price it at at 5,000 naira. I'm trying to open up calculator right now.
Yes, it's
So
40.
you
Would
have
that
to
be
you
40
have to sell
slots?
40. Okay, so that's 40. But if you price it at maybe 10,000 naira, you only have to sell 20. If you price it at
That'll be 20.
20,000 naira, that means you only have to sell 10. So typically that's what I look at. I look at which of them is faster to do, which of them will get me the best result
Mm.
in a short amount of time. Now, I'm not going to tell you what to do. Actually, I just only opened that as opportunity for you, as just possibility, so that you can actually see what you are exploring. So,
Yeah.
so that will be the essence of what we want to do together tonight. So, has this been helpful to you? Has it been any valuable to you?
Yes. 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 Yes, it has been. I've not been looking at this training thing before now. I had it in mind, but I didn't put enough um I didn't put mind to it. Now I think I want to really explore this. Thank you very much.
Great. Fantastic. Thank you very much too. And I'm glad to see that we actually got a solution. And actually, your network worked fine. You said your network was here to fine before.
Yes,
So,
you just have to comply.
congratulations. So,
Thank you very much.
congratulations. I'm looking
Thank
forward
you.
to seeing what you will do with that. And more importantly, so that you can get your goal within the next 3 months. And with
Yeah.
that, I'm not seeing anybody live. I'm seeing Israel Marks. I'm seeing Simeon Taiwo. I'm seeing Mayowa Nobanjo. I'm not sure they are live yet. But in case you are live or you are watching the replay and you have questions that you would like to ask, please ask them in the comments below so that I can answer them later on. This is Oluwafunbi Purpose Adeotu, and I am Dayo Samuel. And this is where I bring to
Thank
end this episode of Break the Frame coaching podcast. This is actually your scripted coaching session. You see, we didn't script what we were discussing, and yet we got solution. So thank you for being here, Fumbi. Have yourself a great
thank
night, and
you too.
enjoy yourself.
You too.
Thank you. Let me see. How do I end your own side? Okay, I think this would be this. Let me see. Don't mind me. Okay, great. Thank you once again. This is Break the Frame podcast. My name is Dayo Samuel, and this is where we put to end this episode of Break the Frame unscripted coaching session. I want to say thank you to Fumbi for being kind enough and being honest enough to open up on the call. And I'm looking forward to next week when we are going to have someone else on the show. So once again, if you want to be on the spotlight session, just as we had just now, you can find the link to actually apply in within the group. The link is actually within the group, so you can actually apply. You can go to audacitytolead.com/. I'm trying to remember. I can't actually remember right now, but the link can definitely be within the group. Or if you can't find the link, you can actually ask me, and I'll send it to you. So thank you again. It's been a pleasure being here on this episode of Break the Frame, your unscripted coaching session. So this is where I bring this episode to a close. And I want to say, have yourself a very, very wonderful weekend. You can actually apply what I've shared with Nick. That's a Nick. What I've shared with Fumbi right now, you can actually apply it and go break some frames. So, like I usually say, the limitation in your mind is the limitation in your life. Once you can take the limitation off your mind, you can take the limitation off your life. My name again is Daya Samuel, and I say, have yourself a very wonderful day, week, weekend, month. All of them join together.